In baseball, there are few things more exciting than a home run. It doesn't matter when it happens. There is something truly magical about watching these athletes turn on a 95 miles per hour fastball and launch it deep into the night. In the long and illustrious history of baseball, there have been a number of memorable home runs. Some of them have won World Series, some have won All-Star games, and some have broken the hearts of the opposing team and their fans. But above all else, these magical moments have withstood the test of time and become a part of the stories that we are told when we are children, and those become the stories that we tell our children. 8. George Brett Pine Tar Game. In what is forever remembered as the Pine Tar Game, the Royals took the lead over the Yankees on a George Brett two-run home run. George Brett put a great swing on the ball and blasted it deep into the right field seats to give the Royals a 5-4 lead. What was supposed to be just another day of heroics for Brett and a likely win for the Royals would quickly turn into a moment that sports fans wouldn't soon forget. Yankees manager Billy Martin went to talk to umpire Tim McClelland about the amount of pine tar that was on Brett's bat. The umpires all got together, measured Brett's bat against home plate, and agreed the tar was covering too much of the bat and called Brett out. It was later determined that the amount of pine tar was fine, and the Royals' victory was upheld. 7. David Justice gives Braves their first championship since 1957. The Braves teams from 1991 through 2005 were more remembered for only winning one World Series and not the 14 straight division titles. In 1995, everything finally came together for the Braves, and they won the World Series over the Cleveland Indians. Prior to Game 6 of the World Series against the Cleveland Indians, Justice ripped the fan base for not showing enthusiasm during their postseason run. So, once he stepped into the batter's box at Turner Field, he was greeted with loud boos. Game 6 was tied 0-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Those jeers turned into cheers after Justice hit a World Series winning solo home run off Indians pitcher Jim Poole. 6. Glen Allen Rooftop Home Run. There have been plenty of famous home runs in the history of America's pastime, but no one has ever done or replicated what Chicago Cubs outfielder Glen Allen Hill managed on May 11, 2000. While facing off against the Milwaukee Brewers, Hill hit a massive home run out of Wrigley Field and onto the roof of an apartment building located across the street. There has been much debate in regard to how far that baseball truly traveled. Some claim it was 460 feet, while Hill himself jokingly boasted that the ball traveled 700 feet. No matter the case, Hill accomplished something that will forever live in Cubs lore. No one had ever hit a baseball on the roof of that yellow apartment building before, and it's quite possible that it will never happen again. 5. David Freese Home Run. David Freese's Game 6 walk-off home run, the 47,325 fans at Busch Stadium that evening saw David Freese cement his legacy. It is forever known as the David Freese Game in St. Louis and beyond. Game 6 of the 2011 World Series is on the short list of wildest contests in World Series history, with the Cardinals prevailing 10-9 in 11 innings. The Rangers, who had lost the World Series to the Giants the previous year, were on the verge of their first World Series title in franchise history, leading the Cardinals 7-5 going into the bottom of the ninth. The Rangers were one strike away from popping bottles, but Freese roped an opposite field triple over Rangers right fielder Nelson Cruz's head, scoring 2 runs to tie the game and send it into extra innings. The home run was Freese's first of the World Series, and it couldn't have come at a better time. 4. Mike Piazza Home Run. On September 21, 2001, 10 days after the terror attacks on the World Trade Center in New York, Piazza came to the plate at Shea Stadium in the 8th inning. It was the first sporting event in the city since the attack, and Piazza delivered some much-needed jubilation for the more than 41,000 fans in attendance, taking pitcher Steve Carsey deep to left center for the go-ahead 2-run homer. An atmosphere that had been at times solemn and on edge turned to cheers and tears of joy as New York went on to win the game. The iconic moment was cemented in Mets lore. Many first responders and family members of those lost in the attack were in attendance that night, and the home run brought them and the many watching at home a sliver of normalcy, a reason to smile, and a moment of healing. Piazza was a hero in New York long before that moment, but his time with the Mets will always be highlighted by the legacy of that home run. 3. Barry Bonds breaks all-time home run record. Whether you like Barry Bonds or not, you can't deny the talent that he had. There are allegations, and we all have suspicions, but even before he became the Incredible Hulk, he was still one of the greatest players in baseball history. In 2007, with his career coming to an end, he broke the most hallowed record in all of sports. Hank Aaron endured a lot in his lifetime, particularly when he set the home run record amid death threats, and didn't want to see his record fall to Barry Bonds. On August 7, 2007, Bonds launched a shot over the wall in San Francisco that gave him 756 home runs in his career. People will always have questions that will never have answers, but to deny the fact that this was one of the most memorable home runs in history is bitter resentment for one of the most unlikable athletes of all time. 2. Cal Ripken's home run on the night he breaks Lou Gehrig's record. Lou Gehrig's Major League Baseball record for the most consecutive games played was broken by Cal Ripken Jr. on September 6, 1995. Since playing in 2,130 straight games starting in 1939, Gehrig has held the record, which many people believed would never be surpassed. But adored Baltimore Orioles shortstop Cal Ripken was driven to beat the mark. He participated in every game for more than 16 seasons, a rare feat requiring both talent and stamina. After playing in his 2,131st straight game on September 6, 1995, Ripken broke Lou Gehrig's record and cemented his place in baseball history. He kept on playing for many more years, eventually expanding his streak to 2,632 games. Ripken came to the plate and hit a home run in that same game. It was voted by fans as the most memorable moment in baseball history. 1. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, 77, World Series home run. October 17, 1977 will be remembered as the day Reggie Jackson became Mr. October. The Yankees were up 3-2 against the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Jackson literally took over Game 6. He hit a home run on the first pitch in the 4th, 5th, and 8th innings. Hitting one home run during the World Series is a big moment. Driving 2 balls over the fence in the same game is a major accomplishment as well. There have only been 3 players in Major League history to hit 3 home runs in one World Series game. Reggie Jackson is one of those 3 players. He shares room in this club with Babe Ruth and Albert Pujols. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1993 after hitting 563 career home runs. That was it for today's video. Before leaving, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.